a minute.
Okay, Mr. Nichols, you want to speak?
Sure. We're happy you guys could join us tonight. We just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of information about Beyond, what we are, and some of the things that we're doing at Seven Springs Middle School with this program. This program is designed for incoming fifth graders or current sixth, seventh, and eighth graders that are zoned or going to school in Seven Springs Middle School. Christina, you ready?
Yep.
All right, I'll give it over to you.
All right, so our application window is going to be from January 7th to March 26th. It is an application process. And sorry, it is an application process. So that'll be on our website available for you to fill out.
And it will be on the school banner. So all you have to do is go to our Seven Springs Middle School website and look on the banner, and you'll see like a little arrow that you can move over, and then till you get to Beyond, and then you'll see the word application, and just click on that. It'll lead you right to the application.
And this is Pasco County's vision and mission here. This is the Pasco County vision and mission statement. Is to provide rigorous, relevant learning while fostering respectful relationships. And to go along with that, our Beyond mission is to provide a multifaceted, authentic, self-paced, high-quality learning experience to prepare students for college and career. So that's pretty much what our designed to do. So this is a little bit about our program here. Beyond is designed to excel as they need to, or get individualized instruction, small group instruction, and work in cooperative groups. We typically have a Beyond camp. We couldn't do that last year with everything that was going on, but hopefully in the future we'll be able to do that. And that allows students to get acclimated to our technology, learn a little bit more about the program, and really get to know each other, the students in that camp as well. Our different courses that we offer typically are down here on the screen as well. And the Beyond students are self-motivated, passionate learners, they're strong readers, and they're focused academically.
And I do want to interject that just a little bit, is that with Beyond students, I did want to let you know what it looks like as a typical student in Beyond. So Beyond is like a team, just like we have other teams in our school. And so you have three different teachers in Beyond. So you have a social studies, Mr. Nichols, Miss McCosh, language arts, and Miss Reeves, math teacher. And so in Beyond, just like everyone everywhere else in the school, is they are specialized to teach the content they're at. In science, they're off team, but in Beyond, you can choose any elective just like any other student. So we have Beyond students who are in orchestra. That's a string instrument like oboe and violin. We have them in band, brass instruments, wind instruments. We have them in choir. We have them in having gym, you name it, they're in it. And they're also involved in extracurricular activities. Even though Beyond is a rigorous program, they are still involved in extracurricular activities like football, cheerleading, so on.
So Beyond allows students the face-to-face interaction. So the teachers are right there in the classroom, ready to work with them as needed. And it also allows the students to work independently on their own or with their peers, as you can see here. And Ms. Seibert, did you want to talk about our data a little bit?
So with our data, this is our math data. So if you look at the purple is the Beyond students, the yellow or the orange is the Seven Springs Middle School, and the blue is the district. So if you notice in Beyond, we have a lot of 7th graders that are in 8th grade math. So if you notice, that's advanced 7th and 8th. So the students that are in beyond in the regular 7th grade is actually just, they're taking regular 7th grade math courses. So, but I did want to let you know, a lot of our beyond students are in the advanced courses. So if you notice in those advanced courses and in the 6th grade as well, is that they are far, far beyond the performance, they outperform the school level as well as the district level. Okay. And in the ELA data, you can see there that we have beyond. So this is beyond here. This is Seven Springs, and this is the district. And you can see here how our beyond students outperforms the school-wide average as well as the district average. And it is because, like we said, is that in beyond, it is an accelerated program. So it definitely does get them ready for college and career readiness. And then this is the algebra EOC. We have 100% pass rate in beyond with algebra. And then also Seven Springs, we also had 100% pass rate. And then this is the district performance on the algebra EOC. And then for the geometry, same thing. We had 100% pass rate in beyond for geometry. Next year, we are going to add geometry back into the Beyond program because we have many of our students who tend to accelerate, and because Beyond is where you're taking learning into your own hands and you can go as fast as you want. So they are wanting to take geometry, and we want to make sure we offer that in Beyond program and return that back into Beyond. And then the civics EOC, if you notice that our Beyond students outperformed the school-wide average as well as the district in the civics EOC.
So in Beyond, we give real-time, up-to-the-minute feedback on the students' work and how they're performing on an individual basis. So students receive individual one-on-one feedback on their assignments, their assessments, their quizzes, their tests. They can work in small groups. We pull small groups. The students can work together in small groups, or we sometimes will do some whole group instruction. They have that feedback immediately. They have their grades up to date every single day, and they can work together, or they can work independently, however they feel comfortable in the program. The Beyond program is reading intensive. They do need to read through the language arts curriculum, the history curriculum, this or civics, depending on what grade level they're in. They do need to read a lot of that on their own, and it is higher level. Note taking is required. We teach the students how to take Cornell notes, and we teach them various different note taking styles to help them through their projects and their assignments, and to also help them study for their quizzes and tests that are upcoming. But it really sets them up once they get into high school and college, getting in that habit of taking notes.
And one thing we do want to say in Beyond, in that note-taking skill, it is very, students have to learn how to take notes and be able to study on their own when they are in those higher level courses like AP classes, dual enrollment classes in high school, as well as honors classes. So them teaching, the teachers teaching them the Cornell notes, strategies, and being able to comprehend the content and all that is really essential. And that is something they'll carry for the rest of their life. The other thing we do want to say is that in Beyond, there is also an oral exam, which is called DBA. And with that is another net, another safety net for them. So whenever before they take a written exam, they take an oral exam, and if they pass the oral exam, then they get the password for the exam. So then that way, it's another assurance or a measurement that teachers use to make sure they are comprehending the text or the information and the content.
Yeah, so I'll ask them a few questions about the module and the unit that they're learning, just to make sure that they were able to follow along in their comprehending. And for language arts, there's a lot of written work that they'll have to do, essays and and whatever, and through non-fictional text, they have to write articles and that based on research that they do. So I'll go through that with them at that time as well to make sure that they're researching correctly and they're understanding what they're doing. So the students all received, our school was very fortunate this year and we're switching over to Dell computers. So all the students got brand new Dell computers that they can use in school and they can take those home as well. Every year it's a little bit different. So that's kind of what we did this year. The students are responsible for them as they take them home. Sometimes we have an insurance that is offered to the students that wasn't an option this year, but the students are responsible. They're pretty durable computers. They kind of have a built-in case around them. So that's one thing that all the kids in the program have access to. The students can use their own laptop if they want. It doesn't have to be a Dell or any particular brand or computer. They can use an iPad. They can use their phones. It does have to meet certain requirements, but most of their phones can access the My Learning platform and the My Student platform and the FLVS curriculum. So they are able to use those devices as well as, or our computers if they would like. The students do have projects in class and online. There are times where they would have to present or talk in front of the class. So we do work on that. That is one of the language arts standards, is speaking as well. So they do have to talk in front of the class and do presentations. They can do those independently or in groups. That's a lot of times we offer them that choice. And students do have to come to school. They are still required to attend school. This way they have access to that teacher right then and there if they need it. And we have students that are online. We're working with students through Zoom as well, in my school online, and with students in the classroom at the same time. I know in my class, I do let them interact with each other so they can still talk to each other if they need to. But they are expected to attend school just like a regular classroom.
And I do want to interject in this.
For science, they do go on team.
Yes, I do want to interject it. And the reason why, because remember, when you get into certain content in secondary level, there's going to be now that as the content gets more complex, there's going to be things that they have never learned before. So that is when you have to have that teacher to teach live lessons. So this is why it's a blended program. There are going to be times where teachers are going to teach live lessons, especially like with math, whenever they're doing systems or when they're doing quadratic equations. Students have never had that, and that is all new to them. So that is when live lessons will occur, and the teacher will tell them to close their computer. You're going to listen to me. And so then that way they can do interaction with the teacher and then learn the content. And then once that's done, then they go back to taking notes into their computer and so on. And the reason that this is also important is because in Beyond, in that note taking and having their own computer, is because this way they can go at the pace that they need for the learning and for them to grasp the content. So we have students who are all in Algebra 2 honors classes, as well as English 1 honors, which is a high school course. So we do have students who are in those classes because they are learning so quickly, but they also are grasping the material.
All right, and again, that application window will open January 7th. It is due by March 26th, and then hopefully March 27th will notify the families one way or the other if you've been accepted into the program. Are there any questions so far? I haven't received any questions. I do want to pop this up here and just say real quick, if as you are thinking about questions that you have, if you want to take a screenshot of our information, if you think of questions after this, I know a lot of times you're absorbing the information and you're not really thinking about it, but a day or two goes by and you have some questions, you're more than welcome to email us or contact the school, speak with Ms. Seibert if you would like, but I would take a screenshot of this so you have the information handy, and then you can contact us when you think of those questions.
Are there any questions that we have right now?
I do have a question. How big is the program? How many students does it is incorporated into this program? Is it very limited or,
That is a very good question. Right now, currently, the Beyond program, it can hold all the way up to 100 students. Right now, we have probably about 82 students in the Beyond program.
Okay, good. That's good to know.
Any other questions? One thing I do want to add is that when students are in the Beyond program, that they can retake the quiz. So in other words, if they are not, if they, let's say, take the test or the quiz and they didn't do as well as they expected, they can redo those quizzes. So so teachers jump in. How many times do you allow them to retake the quiz, tests?
We typically in civics, US history, and world history, my students have 3 chances to take a quiz. However, after a second attempt, if they're not above our 70%, which is our bottom level, we want everybody above that. They sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with me, almost like a DBA. We go back over their notes. We talk about some of the questions that gave them troubles, and just let them kind of reflect more on it, so that it is a real life situation that when you make mistakes, that's where the actual learning occurs. Now with an exam, it's a little bit more intense. If they didn't do well on an exam and get above 70%, they have to go through a test correction analysis, and it's much, much more in depth. But we do the same process where we sit down with them. That's when they're really showing us their notes. We're dissecting, how are you keeping everything aligned in your notes, and how are you applying that to the lessons and assignments that you're getting back? Because I encourage my kids all the time, even if you got a 90%, look back at the feedback. We're always going to give you feedback to get that higher score. And once the students buy into that, they really start to excel. And it's neat to see 6th graders, because it does take a little bit of, for them to get used to the sequence and the routine. But once they do master that, the smiles and the self-confidence they get from it is amazing.
And one thing I do want to say is that these teachers you guys are amazing in reference to motivating the students. So they usually have these celebrations, and they have weekly celebration as well as into the quarter celebration, as well as the right before progress reports celebration. So if they're ahead, they have a celebration to just say, hey, you guys are doing a great job, keep it up, and so on.
I know Amanda Murphy had a question real quick. If they don't do well and beyond, can they switch to normal classes? The quick answer is, go ahead, Ms. Seibert, because I know they're going to cut us off here.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Miss Murphy, if you were able to put in your contact information, I do have to end the session on time because the next session is starting pretty quickly.
I have responded to Mrs. Murphy.
Oh,
Oh,
perfect.
great. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you
Reeves.
so much. Thank you for another great session, and have a great evening, guys.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank you.